What's up, lads? It's your girls in love, and here with an actual Stephen D animation. It's called "A Creepy Woman Crawled Out of My Hotel to Rob Me." So we're just gonna go ahead and get started with this.
This past Monday, Susan and her co-workers returned to their hotel from a day of working out in the field. Rebecca and Susan stood outside their rooms. She opened hers and saw someone in the bathroom. Hello? Nobody answered.
Nope. 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 I'm like, girl, I'm staying there with you. I don't have time for nobody else in my room. She can keep the room. It's already paid for. I'm staying with you.
Her first instinct was that it was a cleaning lady in there. And then she saw her bag and her clothes in the woman's hand. "What are you doing with my stuff?" she said. The lady kept mumbling about how her key still worked and that's how she got in. Susan wasn't...
See? I would have been like, you know what, clothes is replaceable stuff, but I'm not staying in this room. If there's anything personal, like information-wise, that I need up in there, either we scrap it, we drop it, or somebody's gonna get hurt, and it ain't gonna be me this time.
In shock, and the woman was obviously very flustered, having been caught mid-robbery. She dropped the bags and fumbled around with her purse and a white plastic bag. By this time, Rebecca was behind her watching all the insanity unfold. The woman was scrambling and walking towards the door, and Susan said, "What's in the bag?" No, it's just my things. It's just my things. I'll show you." Susan looked and didn't see anything of hers inside, so she let her leave. She went into her room and it's been ransacked. All of her electronics were still there. Then she went into the bathroom and saw her underwear, her bikini, and clothes shoved into her own bags randomly. Even a passport was shoved in there. Then Susan looked in the drawers and saw that she got into her medication. She ran out the door to go find her. She went down to the laundry room and out to the sides of the hotel and didn't...
What do you need her medication? She's a druggie. Because if I said, why you need her medication? Well, unless you're a druggie, then I can understand why you're still on medication. Also, why you all up in my underwear though? You don't. My money stays with me. My electronics and stuff stays with me. I'm traveling, we're in the car, and it's a car, like, it stays with me. I'm sorry. I don't leave nothing personal in any hotel room because you don't know what type of BS be going on up in there.
And see her anywhere. Susan realized she was never going to find her, so she and her coworker went to the lobby to tell them what happened and then called the police. They went back up to the room to wait and noticed that there was a metal bat near the bed. But there's also a flashlight on the end. The police got there and took their statements and looked around the room as well. One thing Susan noticed was that there were bits of drywall in the sink, and she pointed it out to the cops, but none of them really knew where it came from. They started looking at the door to see if she pried her way in somehow, but there was nothing. They just kind of went with the idea that she had a spare key or something, even though the hotel front desk was adamant that there's no way that could be. The officer that came called for another because they thought the woman might still be in the vicinity. But after Susan and her co-worker's statements were taken, there was nothing else they could really do, so they left. Susan sat down to finally make some calls to tell people, and as she's on the phone, she's thinking about the drywall in the sink, and it still didn't make any sense to her. She goes into the bathroom and looks at the drywall in the mirror close to it, and then it hit her. She got Rebecca to help pull at this mirror on the wall, and it turns out it was attached on the top. There was a hole there just big enough for a desperate junkie to squeeze through. She asked if she could call the cops again to let them know what they just found, and her boss said that there were still 2 cop cars in the parking lot. They both went back up, looked at the hole, and found a pillow, blankets, cigarettes, clothes, and toothbrushes inside. This woman had been living in the wall behind.
So I was right, she was a druggie. And a homeless druggie at that. And how do I not know some? Then again, if it's placed behind a mirror, you would never know this heifer's living there. But that's creepy. That would make me want to check everything up and in before the beds, anything.
Behind her mirror for God knows how long. She had access to Susan's room at all times, and the crawl space was just big enough for her to squeeze through. They took pictures of the scene and everyone was mind blown that this was actually real. Unsurprisingly, Susan and Rebecca packed up and left immediately. The hole in the walls were from a renovation and the hotel hadn't properly patched them, so they just covered it up with mirrors. She could have been hanging out in people's rooms while they were gone. Susan never went back to that hotel. But every time she travels and stays at another, you can bet the first thing she checks are the walls and the mirrors.
Oh no. That was an actual true story. That's creepy. That's creepy. Hold on, let me see if I can pay it. Yeah, that's creepy. Oh no. See, yeah. So if any of my stuff got stolen and I happen to know there's a hole in the wall, and the hotel told me that because they were doing renovations and they did some crappy patchwork, the hotel would have got sued too. The hotel would have got sued. Yeah, the hotel definitely would have got sued. That chick would have got arrested and y'all would have got sued. But, that's not cute. Well, anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and subscribe to Stephen D's channel, which I will put down below. See you guys later. Bye.
This sound like what? 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 This